Trump has criticized Ottawa's move, saying the deal would turn Canada into a drop-off port for Chinese exports into the U.S. The U.S. currently has a 35% tariff on all Canadian imports that do not comply with CUSMA. Other tariffs include a 50% levy on steel and aluminum imports. With me now is David MacNaughton, former Canadian ambassador to the U.S. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. This comes after, it should be mentioned, Donald Trump first reacted to the Canada-China deal, saying essentially that's what Canada should be doing. So what was your first reaction when you saw this flip-flop, Trump now threatening 100% tariffs on Canada?
Well, I think, what he said was, if we do a trade deal with China, well, we're not doing a trade deal with China. And it was clear. I mean, I was there during the negotiations, the renegotiation of NAFTA. It was pretty specific. Bob Lighthizer, the U.S. trade representative, said, you must not do any free trade deals with non-market economy, as the Prime Minister just indicated. And I think Canada's completely behaved, consistent with that. We're not doing a free trade deal with China. And, the reality is we're not importing semi-finished goods from China and then shipping them into the United States. So I suspect that either the president had dinner with Peter Navarro or somebody who's, who doesn't care about the facts, or he's just not very happy about what the Prime Minister said in Davos. But the reality is that there is no free trade deal with China. There isn't any being negotiated, and therefore we're entirely consistent with our trade arrangement with the United States.
Do you think there is any way that Trump doesn't realize what these deals with China actually were, that they were not a free trade deal?
Well, he, as you said, as you pointed out, he first complimented the Prime Minister for getting it done. I mean, one of the things about this is that those tariffs on electric vehicles from China were imposed right after the Americans put them on, and we did exactly the same as the Americans. We were consistent with the Americans. We slapped them on, and then we got no credit for it. In fact, the president said, well, we don't need any cars from Canada, and they should all be made in the United States. And then when you look at what we've done, we're going to allow in 49,000 electric vehicles from China into Canada. Well, that's hardly, that's something like 3 or 4% of the market. So it's not a free trade deal. It's not even importing significant amount of electric vehicles. And when we slapped on the tariffs and we got no credit for it from the Americans, what happened was that then China, blocked canola from going to China, blocked, lobster and crab. So this was just, going back to before we slapped those heavy tariffs on China, and we've got a very modest tweak to the arrangement, which allows for, canola from Western Canada and lobster and crab from the Maritimes to be sold in China. So I think, I suspect that there's other issues behind what the president is going on about with the Prime Minister, and I suspect it has more to do with the standing ovation Prime Minister got in Davos.
What about Carney's response today? He came out and spoke with reporters before heading into that Liberal caucus meeting. Do you think his response strikes the right tone?
Totally. It was factual. It was calm, and he reiterated that we are not going to do a free trade deal with China. And I think that, frankly, hopefully this is the end of that particular discussion, and we can get back to, the review of the CUSMA USMCA deal that is underway, and hopefully we can, reestablish a firm, the beauty of the deal that we did is that there is no termination in 2026. It actually doesn't. The sunset clause, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't go till 2036. And if somebody wants out of the deal, they've got to give 6 months notice. So I think we're in for a fairly long period of discussions and negotiations with the Americans. But I think the best thing to do is just not to panic, just to be calm and sensible.
stay the
And I think
course.
that's where the Prime Minister was. I think he was good.
All right. That is our time, sir. Thank you very much for yours today.
Okay.
Great chatting with you.